remember in middle school, I moved around quite a bit as a kid. It was traumatic if you had to sit and eat lunch alone.
It sounds simple if you were popular.
Yeah.
It's a huge issue if you struggle with that.
Yeah. You never did, though.
You know what? No, I always felt like I was on the edge. I was like every day I thought this may be the day I don't have someone to sit next to at lunch. Like I never felt like I was really in the mix.
And when I
hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, when I was raising the kids, I would always judge how their day went by saying, who'd you sit with at lunch?
See, I didn't have quite that issue in Montana. I went to a school with like 20 kids in my class. So the
lunchroom. Did they make you go out to the woods?
They had,
too?
well, we ate in the woods, but they had we had the whole class in there. The whole school was in the lunchroom, and
I picture Ashley in this one school building, like the first graders were in there with the eighth graders.
No,
27 kids.
We actually were in one school. I'm not kidding.
And you all shared one lunch, you know. But at
woods.
20 schools in Portland today, there will be this effort to make sure everyone has somebody to sit with. The thought being that
awesome.
It will continue well after today. Some high school students with a group called Beyond Differences are going to be there to help facilitate this. We sent Cassidy Quinn out to Beverly Cleary Middle School to learn more about this great effort. Cassidy?
Yeah, guys, so today is No One Eats Alone Day, and you can see that teen board you were just talking about right behind us from Beyond Differences. They're going to be doing a couple different things here throughout the day, and then there's other members of their teen board at different middle schools here in Portland and around the country. But we have Liz Cobes, the school counselor here at Beverly Cleary. So you guys have done this before. What is the goal on a day like this?
Well, as your anchors were talking about, middle school can be kind of a trying time, and especially lunchtime. A lot of our students don't eat alone, but it's to bring awareness to social isolation, and that you can be sitting at a table or in a classroom full of a bunch of people and still feel very, very alone. So this is our second year participating in No One Eats Alone Day, and it's been great working with Beyond Differences and their teen board this year.
So when the teen board comes in here, what happens? What do the students experience throughout the day?
Well, last year we did it a little bit differently. We actually had the students mix up and try to sit with different people. This year we're letting them sit with their friends, and then the teen board, they will just facilitate some conversation starters and get to know you questions, and just get the kids talking, and more of the kids talking at the table.
Now, do you think the kids realize what's happening? Do they see the importance of it as they're going through it?
Oh yeah, they definitely see the importance of it. A lot of times when I do lessons, or the teachers do lessons, or the teen board does lessons, I've had students come up to me and say, thank you so much for doing that lesson, because that's exactly how I felt. And so our students are really aware that they're the ones that have the power to actually end this. So even though we as adults give them this opportunity to practice this and bring awareness to it, they know that ultimately the power comes from them to be kind.
Now, if there are some parents watching, is there anything you think, because the parents don't get to come here and experience this, is there anything you think they should know?
I think at home a lot of times it's just about having the conversation about who they are eating with, and who they are talking to, and looking for signs of the students who may be feeling socially isolated, and just what we can do to be more kind. I mean, you never know I guess the power of just one kind word or one sentence to someone, and how big of a difference that can make.
Thank you so much. Well, we are actually going to talk to someone who's on the teen board and a middle school student here at Beverly Cleary later in the hour. Guys, I don't... Have you had any experiences with social isolation that you want to talk about? Yeah? Awesome. Is there anything specific about No One Eats Alone Day that you want to make sure you talk about?
Let's check back in with Cassidy Quinn. She's at Beverly Cleary Middle School, where they're in the midst of lunch hour there. This being a special day because there's a campaign, No One Eats Alone. Cassidy, it looks like no one is eating alone there.
I know. You saw us about a half an hour ago. There was no one in here besides the teen board for Beyond Differences, but it is No One Eats Alone Day. So now the first round of kids have come in here. You guys were saying you're listening to the smooth sounds of jazz. I thought you were going to say you're listening to the smooth sounds of middle schoolers eating lunch. But we have a high schooler on the teen board for Beyond Differences. I'm going to squeeze in here. Can I sit with you guys at lunch? I don't want to eat alone either, but I don't have a lunch. That's okay. We have Hannah. So this is the first year there's been a teen board in Portland. And we were talking earlier, I think a lot of people don't know the difference between bullying and social isolation. So can you tell me about that?
Well, bullying, a lot of people kind of confuse the two terms, bullying and social isolation. bullying is more when someone just kind of comes up to you and says you're ugly, or when people are talking behind your back about you and intentionally making the person feel bad about themselves. But social isolation is more of, it's kind of more discreet, and a lot of times people don't even know that they're doing it. So like if there's someone who you just don't really realize that's just kind of sitting in the corner by themselves at lunch, or if there's someone, if you're in a group with your friends and you're in a group with your friends and everyone's talking but you're just kind of sitting there.
And why do you think this is so important to bring to these different schools?
Well, it's really important because I was in middle school and I definitely know that it's a really big problem. Yeah, they're just like everyday incidences that a lot of times people don't even notice, like at lunch or in the classrooms or after school when you're hanging out with your friends. And I think people really need to be aware of what's going on because you can't really fix the problem if people don't know about it.
Well, thank you so much for all of your hard work on the teen board. We are going to move down to the other end of the table. We have a student. This is Elena, an 8th grader right here at Beverly Cleary. So what is your experience with social isolation?
Well, I've experienced when I was in the 5th grade, I felt like I was in a group of friends that didn't really support me and that they didn't listen to what I was saying. And so I kind of tried to move out of that group, but it was really hard for me to do because it was like that group that everyone wanted to be in. So that was kind of hard for me.
Is this a day that you guys look forward to and you think is important here?
Yeah, I think it is. I think some people mock it, but I think that's like not okay because some people might not feel welcome in a community, and especially at like this kind of school, it's like everyone's trying to fit in with a group that doesn't always accept people. So.
And does it actually get you to sit with different people and have different conversations?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and I think that's kind of awesome because it's so open and everyone's so open to it. So.
Well, thank you so much. I will let you all eat your lunch, and you can see, yes, no one is eating alone today because it is No One Eats Alone Day, and the teen board from Beyond Differences is here making so many differences, guys. I think I'm hungry, though, after watching all these kids eat their lunch.
Yeah, Cassidy, thank you so much.